Welcome everybody to another episode of Megabit Matinee. In this series that we have for the Megabit Misfit channel, we talk movies, the latest movies that come out, or anything that makes sense to video games, connection, and or sometimes whatever the hell I like. Anyway, I am your host, Mr. Ray Ray, and these are my brothers in nerdy shit, Leeboy XP and Rav. What's going on, fellas?
What's good? What's good?
What's going on, man?
Actually, a movie that's up to date that we can watch.
Yes.
It was in theaters and we caught it all at the same weekend. So it was good.
All right.
Yes, all up to date. Everybody got their debit cards out. We all went to the theater. I mean, in separate cities, of course. Yeah, but we all checked out the same movie, and we have some stories to tell. Of course, as you can see by the thumbnail and by that little thing right down below Rav's face, Masters of the Universe released this weekend, and it is a action-packed adventure based off the 80s, right? Not 70s, 80s cartoon.
80s.
Yep. And based off the 80s, late 80s movie, or not really the best off of it, but in respects to it, I guess. So yes, we all watched the Masters of the Universe. Real quick before we get to the questions, did you guys enjoy yourselves in the theaters? Did you guys get any popcorn buckets or anything like that?
I did.
Yeah.
I definitely did.
Yeah,
I got the popcorn bucket, but they had the Castle Grayskull popcorn bucket. I wasn't gonna spend $45 on it. I got the metal Masters of the Universe tin bucket for the extra large popcorn and all of that, and it's good. I can't complain. It's useful.
It was sold out over here, bro. Like you couldn't even buy the Castle of Grayskull joint, which I was shocked and surprised. But I was more interested in the Mandalorian helmet cup than anything. I wanted. That's what I wanted.
They had the Grogu at my theater.
I completely forgot that movie even released. I had like no interest in it whatsoever. I love the show, love Star Wars. I had no idea the movie even was released yet. Anyway, I had asked the lady, like, hey, you guys have the sword with the soda, and she goes, oh, I'm sorry, that sold out like a day ago. I'm like, that's it's only the second day the movie's out. And she goes, yeah, it's dead. We sold like 150 of them. And I'm like, okay, anything else? She goes, no, we only had the sword. I'm like, oh,
the sword would have been cool to get. I mean, that's expensive.
What? I would have been like this right now. I'm like, ah. Anyway, sorry, I'm a little bit of a nerdgasm there. I apologize. Okay, so I set up a series of questions to ask these gentlemen right here, and they're going to answer 100% honestly, because we're not paid by anybody, because we do this shit for fun.
This is true.
But if anybody wants to sponsor us, we're open to sponsorships. Okay, so please hit like, subscribe, and if you like what you're seeing, the bell notification, so that way you're notified whenever we release a video. Okay, question.
We'll lie for your movie. It's okay. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll lie for the dollars.
No, it's a joke, guys. It's a joke. Okay, so first question: what is the big idea or theme of the movie, and does it hit home in its execution of the movie? Mr. Rav, you go first.
All right. We spoke about this off camera a little bit, and I think that
not big idea.
No. Just through text message, nothing crazy, but we had a quick little thing, and I think the theme of the movie is the comparison to today's modern people versus the 80s people, and like, don't take it offensive, but how modern day is a lot more sensitive and softer compared to the way things were back in the 80s. Okay.
Yes.
Now, that's what I think the main idea of the story of this movie is, because they push so hard on that 80s theme and that old look to everything, and how everything is manly back in this fantasy realm and all of this other stuff. And then when you get to like the Earth realm, and how they just made him too sensitive, too soft, and I think it's done on purpose to kind of just tell people to kind of like, man up, stop being so sensitive, do your thing, you know what I mean? And I think that's a big push in this movie. That's the big story behind that movie, I think.
All right. Okay.
Straightforward.
Yeah.
I couldn't have said it more better I couldn't say it better than that, bro. He got it. He got that. He took everything out. He sucked the life out of everything I was going to say. Literally. Yeah. He said what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I mean,
next question.
Well, damn, can I answer? Jeez.
Yeah. Oh, no. You can answer. That's fine. I'm just saying.
No, I totally agree, because it's him as a little boy in the beginning of the movie, was kind of like the runt. He had to learn. They had to make him stronger so that way he can deal with life as life progressed as it went.
Right.
So the theme is get stronger so that way you can deal with life. Not necessarily, I don't want to be no sexist or nothing like that, but as a man, as a an independent woman out there, if you're doing whatever, you have to get stronger as you get older.
Yes, sir.
You have to learn from the lessons that you learn. So that way you can be a leader, you can be self-sufficient. You know what I mean? So that's the theme of the movie. I mean that's the same thing you're saying. It's,
Rav said it perfectly. I'm sorry.
A lot of generations grow up differently. A lot of the generations now are a bit too soft. So don't get me wrong, not everybody, because there's some individuals I've met who are 19, 20, and they are badasses like the way some people that we knew back in the day.
Everybody grows up different. Everybody got a different life and all that stuff. But it's like there was something about back in the day. I mean, again, there was a lot of problematic shit back in the day, but there's also a lot of shit that doesn't affect people the way it did back then. You know what I mean? Like those things, a lot of those things are gone. A lot of those things are so much easier. Yes, there's different challenges now today, but I think that when you think about when you put movies on a screen and you're putting things like that out there, you're showing that there's a difference from then to now. You know what I mean? If you do the comparison to the way the old 80s movie is and how overly masculine that movie was. You know what I mean? It was silly, but it's like, come on,
Arnold
compared to yeah, exactly.
Sylvester Stallone, Van Damme, Bruce Willis.
It was not the same thing. You know what I mean? Come on,
Rav. You know what we doing? The movies we had growing up, bro.
Yes, sir.
Everything was action packed back in the day for no reason.
You didn't have 12-pack abs. You know what I mean?
Exactly, bro. Arnold and Carl Weathers, Dylan, with the muscles flexing for no reason at all. But it shows
I know there's more like a sensitivity in the men in today's films, because look at how people hated Cavill's Superman. Not hated. A lot of people did not like Cavill's Superman because he was.
You can say hated. They hated it. They hated it.
He was too like holding back. He wasn't hope. He was angry. He was like almost like broken, and they didn't like that. They wanted, I want a hopeful Superman. Now you got a hopeful Superman.
And now they want Cavill back.
At least a lot of people. Don't get me wrong. The new Superman is okay. I'm not gonna get into it. Anyway, that's another video that you guys could watch that we already made. Anyway, so there you go. That's the theme, everybody. Get stronger as you get older. Learn from your freaking mistakes. Stop being a bitch. Okay, so the second one. The second one. How do the characters grow and do the actors bring them to life? Now, in that question, you don't have to go off every single freaking character.
No.
But I definitely want to go off of He-Man, Man-at-Arms, and Skeletor. Those are the main three. Okay? If you want to throw in another character, go right ahead. But those are the main three I think I are the most important to the entire story.
Okay.
Even though the young lady, the Man-at-Arms daughter, played a significant role. And Eveline was shit. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. She was trash. I like the actress. I like the actress in Community when she was a comedian, and I liked her in that Glow show where she's like a female wrestler.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She did great. Brie. Yeah, she did great in those shows. Yes. This one,
trash. She was the worst character in this movie, in my opinion. Maybe Lockjaw bothered me a lot, but I like Lockjaw a little bit.
What?
But yeah, anyway.
I hate it. Anyway, we'll get to that. Anyway, He-Man, Skeletor, and Man-at-Arms, their development and their storyline throughout the movie. What do you say about it? What do you think about it?
Where you going to? All right. He-Man is weird for me because I hated the beginning. I hated the whole like him being too soft. I hated him being too sensitive and all this other stuff. And it's like, all right, it is what it is. Because if you think about the old cartoon, he's not the He-Man yet. He's human. He's the prince. He's not gonna be this. It's like a Shazam situation where it's like I have the power and all of a sudden he turns into this other thing. You know what I mean? So right. I got that. Right. But the transition that they did throughout the movie was so sudden, where he was soft, gentle, and all the stuff that was a what was the word you used a minute ago? Where he was just kind of like scrappy, the little guy, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden,
he was the runt. He was a small guy.
Right,
yeah.
right. And then once they got to Eternia, all of a sudden he knows how to fight. He knows how to do this. And yes, okay, it was a little bit of having the power. It was like just too sudden, and it didn't make sense. They didn't build him up enough to at a reasonable pace. They could have built him up to make it make sense. And I think it just happened all of a sudden, right when they got to Eternia. All of a sudden, shit is going down. And it's like, oh, I know how to throw a punch. All of a sudden, when early on you showed you didn't. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, that didn't make sense to me. Other than that, I liked the buildup. I liked the story progression for him, but that transition did not hit for me.
Okay, all right. What about Man at Arms? Did you like
Man at Arms? I liked him. I liked the fall and then the rebuilding of him and all of that. Like I liked the way they did that. They did him justice on that.
By the way, spoilers.
Sorry. Yeah, my bad.
I'll put something in the beginning.
There's one major thing that I think that they should have made clearer between Teela and him, where they called her his daughter over and over again throughout the movie. She is not his daughter. Okay. She is what is it? What's the owl, the bird chick? In the beginning of the movie, I forget her name.
The sorceress?
The sorceress, yes. She's the sorceress's daughter and He-Man's father's daughter. So technically, that's like He-Man's sister almost. And if you go back in history, that's like, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I believe, I could be wrong on the father, but I know that she's the mother for sure.
Wait, is that why when he tried to like kick it to her, she was like, "Oh, you're like my brother. You're like."
Oh, that's funny. That'd be cool if they brought that in a sequel, maybe. But that's a possibility. But that if you go back to the comics and you go back to the cartoons and things like that, that is this history. Is that her mother is the sorceress. So
because that moment when she was like, "Oh, you're my bro," went by the ship and he picked it up with one arm. And now you're my brother. You're like my bro. Yeah. And he goes, yeah, I'm your bro.
That would make a lot more sense for that part. Yeah. But
because right there I was like, oh, you got friend zone, my dude. And it's like you got all the power. Now you got the body. Now you got the power. Now you have everything. And you still got friend zone. It's like okay, sorry. Oh shit.
I'm gonna let Lee Boy speak on those two, and then we can go on into Skeletor.
I know because you guys want to talk about Skeletor, but yeah, Mr. Lee Boy. So, the storyline of He-Man and Man at Arms, and then I'll
as far as He-Man concerned, I think everything was good. Him being the runt at the beginning, I just gotta give a little pushback on my boy Rav here. He wanted that sword. You know what I'm saying? Like that was his whole mission, to get that sword. Once he got that sword, he knew fighting and stuff like that. And then when he got it, when he tried to use it, he was getting his ass whooped until he called on the power of the sword. So it wasn't like he just automatically knew how to fight and all that. He had training, like certain things he was doing.
Yeah, they bitched him out in the highway scene, bro. I mean, he could have fought back in the highway scene a little something. You know what I mean? To defend himself, he did nothing.
On the highway scene, I'm trying to. What you talking about? What highway scene?
When they were up on the highway,
that kept jumping from car to car. Yeah. That big monster kept jumping from car to car.
Oh yeah, he couldn't do shit.
But he was arrested.
What was he gonna do? What was he gonna do?
He couldn't defend himself. He had the sword.
Oh, he had, but he didn't know he didn't have the power. No, he had the power. No, I'm assuming he didn't have the power. He had the sword, but he didn't have the power. Just like when he was on the bridge, he had the sword, but he did not have the power. That's why he almost got tossed the fuck off until he called on the power. He didn't throw
a single punch either to defend himself. It's like, come on, bro.
Come on, bro. He ain't fighting nothing that big before, and he didn't have the power.
real quick. Could he become He-Man in our world?
Yes.
Yes, he can.
He could?
He would. Oh, yes.
Oh, that adds a whole nother level of shit to me then. Because he should have defended himself then.
No. He did not know what to say and say it the right way. Hence the reason.
Said it.
No, bro. He said it. You go back and watch the film. When he tried to say it the first time, nothing fucking happened until the sorceress came up. So she told him, "You have to believe in yourself." And what did you say? And he says, "I have the power." When he finally said it the correct way with confidence, that's when the shit came down to him. Before that, it was not working for him.
It's the confidence, not the words. It's the confidence.
It's think about it. It's like Thor. You know anything about Thor? Thor has to be worthy. If Thor doubts himself, that hammer is not getting picked up. Same thing with He-Man. This is the concept of this. And you can see the parallels right between these characters. But anyway, it's my turn to talk about He-Man. I thought that the character was great. Okay, moving this goalpost too much here. The character was great. The pacing and how he got the sword and what he was going through, I thought it was pretty funny. I like the comparisons of how he was weak and he moved up to being a superhero and finally believing in himself, because this is the whole premise. Remember, we talked about the story. At the end of the film, when the sword shattered, right? And he didn't have the sword. And remember, he said throughout the film, I am nothing without this sword. He remember the whole thing at the job. Are you gonna answer your phone? And like I need this sword. He was obsessed with this because he felt that his identity was in the sword, when the entire time his slogan is, I have the power. It's in me. So that was the whole point of the theme of this movie about him being He-Man. Okay, that's He-Man. I covered that. Now we talk about Man of Arms, who I thought, to be honest with you, I kind of liked him, kind of didn't, because I didn't like the whole drunken, I this one fight took me out, and for the rest of my life I'm a drunkard. And I like the fact that he survived, but outside of that, his character, I don't know. Again, I have a lot of Thor vibes in this film, so I kept seeing him as Hammerfell, Hammerthal, whatever the hell you say his name. Heimdall. I kept seeing him as that character over and over and over in this film. I couldn't shake it because it's damn Idris Elba. But out of all of the characters, to me, that were main people, he was in. Didn't like him, did not like him. Didn't like him in that sense. But other than that, that was it.
Okay. So my overall take is with He-Man's story arc overall, his personal character arc. I like the fact that he started off as a runt. I like the fact that Man at Arms was trying to build him up, build up his confidence, and his father came out and fought him straight up. And this is like a grown ass man, the king of Eternia, fighting his son, who's like what was he, 9, 10 at that moment?
8, 9 years old.
Yeah. So he was fighting him, but he was fighting him like with real swords. Yeah, he was fighting with real swords and hitting him hard. And I was like, oh, okay, they're starting this kind of rough on this kid. And then like the very important scene or line that was said by Idris Elba or Man at Arms to the young He-Man or young Adam, whatever, was that, don't worry, you stand tall, get up. When you stand right here, wait till he turns around. He's gonna see that you took the hits and you're still standing. You took the hits, you're still here. You're watching him. And then he's standing up. He's like this, the little kid like this. And the little kid who was only in the movie for a few minutes, I think he did really good, his acting performance. Because he was like this, like waiting for his father to turn around. Yo, I felt that moment, like that hit me. Because my personal whatever, I'm not getting into it, but whatever. Like I felt that I think every son gets that from his father. And it's like his father never turned around.
So the fact that ice, Charlie Murphy.
Cold as fucking night. He just kept walking. All you saw was his crown and his fucking his cape or whatever. And then he just gone, never turned around. That kid's eyes disappointed. He was broken right there. That's why it was hard for him to get back to the confidence level on trying to get his confidence back. His father broke him like that. And the thing is that I was like, when I saw that, I was like, oh man, this movie is gonna hit me kind of hard when I'm watching it. And then the rest of the story arc happened with him, and it was like, okay, cool. They have some action scenes. Cool, he gets to the point. Cool, but I also agree with Rav that all of a sudden he gets to Eternia, he gets to the fight with Lockjaw, Greenface, and then all of a sudden he goes, I have the power, and then boom, all of a sudden he's just like rocking people like he's fucking Rocky, and he's doing this, and I'm just like, what? Did you take boxing classes?
He has extra strength now. He's superhuman now.
Right. He can have superhuman strength. I get that. When he kicked them off, I was like, oh, let's go. He's getting on. But now he's freaking dodging and throwing combinations. Like he was training with Tyson for the last 10 years. I was like, come on now. I'm like, okay, this is a fantasy movie. I can't really hold too much weight to it. But that story arc was fine. I just kind of want a little more explanation. It's like Rey in Star Wars. All of a sudden, The one movie she's barely moving a rock. The next movie she's like, oh, let me hold the ship. Let me hold up with my powers.
They
It's like,
they
bitch.
built her up the whole movie though, compared to this, where it's like the first hour, like less than the first hour. All of a sudden, it is what it
the,
is. You know what I
the
mean?
first 40 minutes, my dude is rocking everybody in the
Yeah,
show.
it's like come
But
on, bro.
but still, it's a fantasy movie. It didn't bother me too much. But I was like, anyway. Man at Arms. Yeah, he became a drunkard off of one thing. That to me was absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
Now, if they would have killed someone he loved, then I understand. But they did not. I lost the kingdom and the but my daughter's alive. I saved her. He saved his daughter, and then all of a sudden everything else has failed. And mind you, he took a shotgun blast to the stomach and still got up.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he has that metal piece, but I was like, oh, they're gonna kill him off like that. And then he gets back up and he saves her through an explosion through a plate glass window, whatever. But that particular the arc where he just drops down and then he kind of comes back, but he was still like, hey, you want a drink? After he puts all his armor on and he's like shaving. Oh, look at this. Let's celebrate. We got a drink.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, dude, stop. Like, really? You just got your stuff back. You finally put it back on. You're coming back. Now you want to drink again? And then the daughter was whatever. And then at that moment, she got mad. She walked away. And then He-Man and him had to sit down for another meaningful talk.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give my opinion about that later. But anyway, moving on to Skeletor. And I'm going to let Mr. Who wants to go? I'll let Leroy go
you
first.
You do your Skeletor first.
Oh, you want me to go first? Because you guys are going to be in agreement. Okay, no problem. I'm gonna go first with Skeletor's look. Skeletor's look was fire.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Fire.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. That suit, Jared Leto's physical performance, fire. The eyes, the skull, the movement, fire. They got
I
that.
love every time his eyes shot around. I was like, oh yes, dude.
Because it felt like a person. Like
Yeah.
oh, like they felt. I was like, oh shit, they got Skeletor down. His voice, fire. I don't care what it sounded like, who it sounded like. When he spoke, I listened. I was like, overall, I love the character. There's no story arc for him. There's no story arc for him. He's
one-sided for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely one-sided. He has personality in a sense, but out of the 50 or so, no, that's exaggerated. The let's say 7 to 10 jokes that he tried to land, only one hit for me. Only one joke hit for me. I hated the fact that they made him funny. I don't care what he was in the cartoon. I don't care what he was in the 80s movie, in the comics, in the whatever. If that villain looks like death and he wants the power, he murders all these people, he doesn't care. He melted that monster and just like, oh well, who's next? Type of thing. I was like, okay, that's a villain. That's a badass mother. But out of all his jokes, so ha 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 ha, the laughing thing, I was like, please stop, please don't do that again. And they did it again. They did it twice. And I was like, every time he was speaking normally or like ravenous, I was like, yes, that's what I want. And then he'll make, oh, little joke. No, is that it reminded me of Thor: Love and Thunder, where those little moments where you're like, why are you messing up a good, serious, powerful scene with a stupid joke that's not hitting, it's not landing? The only joke he said that had me laughing, where I was like, oh, that's kind of a badass thing to say, but it's funny too, was when Mr. He-Man goes up to him and he goes, you know what? Just face me, be a man and face me. Because finally He-Man stood up. Be a man and face me. And he goes, well, first of all, I don't have a face. Second of all, I don't want to. That had me rolling because that's what a villain would say. Be like, F you. You already proved to me you already got the soul, blah, blah, blah. And so his overall arc, the ending, I don't want to go into the ending, but we'll do that later. But his overall story arc is really like a straight beam. I enjoyed overall, but I hated the jokes. Despised the jokes. If you cut all the jokes out, I think the movie would be 10 times better. That's my opinion on Skeletor. Who wants to go next?
So my thing on Skeletor, I liked him as a villain. I love the voice. I love the look. I loved everything about him. The jokes, not all of them landed. Some of them were kind of silly and childish or whatever it is. But you got a lot of kids, or hopefully kids, coming to this movie, and they don't want to scare other kids away. So they made the jokes, they threw them in there, and you compare it to Love and Thunder, where I compared this movie the second I walked out, I compared it to Ragnarok, um, just because it's like it had just enough fantasy in it, it had just enough flashiness to it, and it had just the right. To me, it was like the right amount of comedy for Skeletor, for He-Man and a couple of the other characters. Some of the other jokes didn't fall for me on them, but Skeletor hit almost perfect on everything for me. I loved his presentation about it. I don't think that's Jared Leto's voice. I told you guys in the text, but I whatever they voice modulated to him. I've listened to the man sing for the last 25 years and act for the last 25 years, and I've never heard his voice come out that deep. And even if they modulated, it wouldn't sound like that. So I don't think that's his voice. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody overdubbed it. Yeah, 30 Seconds to Mars. But
I don't know.
It to me, that's not his voice. If it's whoever it was that did the voice acting, if it's Jared, great. If it's somebody else, they deserve the damn credit because they did a great job with the voice. I'm happy they didn't make it the yeah, that high pitch. That's what I was scared of.
See you next time.
And I was watching the 80s movie and I loved that guy's presentation too from the 80s Skeletor. It was great. And I think they could have did a lot with that, but I think Jared Leto took a lot from that movie and implemented that into his Skeletor as well, the way he presented himself and walked around and kind of just like had this demeanor about him the whole movie. And I think that's what made Skeletor pass for me. The special effects were just top notch on it. The only other thing I had a complaint on it, but we can talk about it later, is what's good. Anyway, we'll get into something else. Go ahead, Leroy, go.
Leroy Skeletor.
I agree with Rav when it comes down to Skeletor. Skeletor to me was but behind He-Man, excuse me, not behind him, but in front of He-Man and Skeletor. Like I got Skeletor, He-Man, and then I don't really care who comes third because these two guys to me were like the best. But Skeletor was Skeletor. Anybody that is a fan of the show of He-Man, you are going to love Skeletor. The way he looks. Definitely the way he sounds, because like you guys said, yeah, I definitely didn't want that neither. But I have to say this about the jokes. And I know that's the thing that we're all touching on. If you watch and you're a fan of the original He-Man, he cracked jokes. It's what he did. The dude looked crazy, looked cool and all of that. But this is what he did. He cracked jokes. Let me just quote something for you guys. He said to one guy who was a scientist, the scientist said, "Why can't I join your gang?" Skeletor says, "Because you're a wimp scientist and you could be a wimp villain." It's what he told somebody. The dude with the red jaw, when Skeletor grabbed his cane with the goat head on it and he started swinging in the air, spinning it, the dude said, "Wow, I didn't know you could do that, Skeletor." Skeletor said, "I could write a book about the things that you don't know." Like this is
he's always just a smart ass, you know.
He always had some shit to say, bro. This is who he was, a menace and a fucking goof at the same time. This is what they did. And then the person, Jared Leto's performance and the writing for all of that. So when you guys say it doesn't hit, it ain't supposed to. That's the character. It can't be like that. If you notice, the film has a lot of campy shit going on with it. It's done purposely because if you're a He-Man fan, since from back in the day, which I was walking around with the fucking sword in my back, you know what I'm saying? Just yelling around the house. This was the movie you've been waiting on. The one in the 80s, I was disappointed. I ain't gonna hold you. That could be a topic for another time. But Skeletor, top notch. He put it like this. If you don't like He-Man, Jared Leto's performance as Skeletor carried this shit on his back. I'm sorry.
For sure.
That's what I'm gonna say.
I can agree with that. Yes.
Do you believe that this movie has the Jared Leto curse?
Yes.
Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna call it the Jared Leto curse. What I'm gonna call it is the fact that He-Man. This film is not for everybody. I'm gonna tell you straight out. It is not for everybody. If you a big fan, I think this film is probably gonna see a lot more traction when it comes to home. Like when it comes to home on streaming service, it's gonna blow up. In theaters, because people don't know that much about He-Man. They don't really care who the hell is this character. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not familiar with the character, the lore, and the things about He-Man, people gonna overlook it and see another film. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna blow up when it hits streaming services. And in the movie theater, no, because the curse of Jared Leto and what he does, I don't like that because I think he's a great actor.
He's great.
He's proven it with this stuff. He's proven it with his stuff. It's just the fact that for whatever fucking reason,
he just can't get a hit, you know.
He can't. And again, this franchise here and the overall theme of this film, it has a campy feel. It also has even the costumes. I ain't gonna hold you guys. The costumes were a little. They could have done better.
I love the cheesy ass art and they like that. Just that whole old fantasy look. That golden axe looking everything. You know what I mean? I was like, this is great.
To me, they could have done better with the costumes, but I think that was done purposely because of what they're trying to hit, which I didn't have a problem with. I just think that they could have done better, but I understand why. Because that to me would have been like, damn, Skeletor. Like, for example, we all rave about Skeletor, but I'm like, damn, that body looks kind of rubbery. I don't have a problem with it, but I'm pretty sure somebody else is gonna be that mask is kind of rubbery.
It's not a mask, it's CG. The whole face is CG.
That shit look rubbery. That looks rubbery. The body looks rubbery.
That's on his face the whole time.
Yeah, listen, it looks rubbery. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that people may look at it as go, why would I go want to see it? Why would I want to go see this? This looks campy. Yeah. But for example, the part when it starts playing Highlander music, which I thought was that had my heart going crazy when I saw that. You know what I'm saying? And they coming through the tunnel. Here we are. I was like, oh snap.
All the rocks look like plastic.
Bro, and I'm sitting there going, yeah. Even the fight scene with Idris Elba and Lockjaw, that whole scene when they was hitting the rock, that looked fake. You know what I'm saying? But again, I understand the tone in which they were trying to convey with this film. They were trying to bridge today with the 80s and combine it together. So yeah.
I understand that. I get that. They should stop doing that. I honestly, the overall look of the movie, I thought was fine.
I thought it was just too saturated. The colors, everything else was fine for me.
I mean, yeah, for me, the colors didn't bother me because I knew it was going to be aimed at like a family thing. You know, that they wanted the kids and the parents involved, and they wanted a movie that Eric watched together, which I understood. That's why I watched the movie with like holding back my person, like the way I would have done He-Man or something like that. I seen the old cartoon. I was a fan of it at one point when I was a kid. It's not something that stuck with me. What stuck with me was like Thundercats. That's something that stuck with me.
That was the
that was the one. That's the one that actually, if this movie fails, they might not make it. They might shove it. Oof. Because they were thinking about doing a whole He-Man and
they
type of thing, and
they got a cartoon coming out soon to continue the story. They've got a sequel already planned. They've got a whole bunch of things going ready for it.
For what?
For Masters of the Universe. They have a whole bunch of things planned for it. They've invested a shit ton of money in it because they thought that this movie was going to make a lot of money. They knew they had a hit on their hands because of all the test screenings and things like that. It's just people aren't going to the theaters. And I don't know if in your theater, but when I went to the theater, there was no children there. My kids were there because I brought them. My kids are adults, but anybody younger than them, there wasn't any. Anybody who was in the theater was 30s and up.
Yeah, young people don't know about. Come on, let's be honest, bro.
Yeah,
they don't know about no
matter how many reboots.
Yeah, and the crazy part about it is that they had Netflix TV show that they had a relaunch with that.
Two seasons.
Right. You have that, and you got all of the toys, all of this lore that's going on with this. It's not new age. It's for us. You know what I'm saying? It's really for us. We're the ones that's gonna put the word of mouth out there first, and then they'll come along because they don't know anything about He-Man. First of all, it's not even called He-Man; it's called Masters of the Universe. You understand?
That's another thing that was from back in the 80s. The original books were called Masters of the Universe.
Yeah. Your audio. Hold on. Your audio. Something's up with your audio.
Hello. Can you hear me?
There you go. Yeah.
All right. So back in the 80s, the original filings for this story was Masters of the Universe, and the whole thing is a team show. He-Man, they did it for the cartoon, so this way they were able to sell toys better. But the original idea of everything was Masters of the Universe as a team group, like X-Men and all of that from back in the day. If you go look at the old fantasy books and novels and comic books and things like that, Masters of the Universe was always considered the team, not He-Man. He-Man was just for the cartoon. So
they ask a young person today who they know, He-Man or Masters of the Universe.
exactly.
Yeah.
I met the creator. I met the creator back in probably 99, 98. And I got his autograph with on some old He-Man art that he did for me.
Probably worth something now.
Probably, I'm sure.
Well, we pretty much already touched on the cinematography and the art style of it, right? Because you didn't like the colors, you didn't like whatever. Anything you want to say else about cinematography or the visuals or anything like that?
I think one of your questions has to do with scenes specifically, right? Do you want to get into that?
Well, yeah, but you want to add anything before we get to that one? Do you want to add anything about cinematography, stunning looks, anything like that? Like the
I
overall graphics, overall.
Yeah, I think a lot of the special effects, not the physical effects did not look good, but all the special effects, all the CG looked
Yeah,
really
the
well
practical.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the practical effects were terrible, but all the special effects looked really, really good.
Which Mr. Leeway said was done on purpose.
Yeah. No,
80s.
I don't think it was done on purpose, but I think they could have just did a lot better with it. You know what I mean? Some of the rocks where you could tell were styrofoam the way they were just like so. I mean, they're He-Man, they're Masters of the Universe, they're lifting the shit like nothing. But it's like you could have put a little bit more effort to make it more believable if that was a fake rock. You know what I mean? But other than that, I think all the monsters looked good. I liked a lot of the just the creatures and things like that was around in the background. We were pretty good, well done. And the fighting effects look pretty good. I can't really complain about any of the effects.
Yeah, but I thought the movie looked fine. The special effects were fine. I've seen a couple of things a little better in other movies, but again, they were more recent, like sci-fi or superhero type things.
Yeah.
But it's on par with those. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not like the Flash movie that had some horrible special effects, some horrible special effects. No, like that the babies, the cartoon with the babies that came out of Roger Rabbit and some of them. Nothing like that, but pretty decent. Lee, anything to say about the cinematography, graphics, special effects?
Nah, I just thought that for me, I get it, I understand it. For other people, maybe not, but for me, I understood. I get it.
All right.
I roll with it.
So I'm just gonna move on to the pacing of the movie. This movie, if you guys don't know, I know you guys know, but people watching who haven't watched the movie's 2 hours and 12 minutes long. How was your pacing? What do you think, Mr. Lee Boy, about the pacing of the movie with the storyline and everything going on?
I was having too much fun to care about that. Next.
All right, Rav.
I think the pacing was good. I can't really complain. Yeah, I thought it
Wow.
was entertaining and engaging for the most part from scene to scene. There was a couple of scenes early on that I was just like, all right, we can move on from this. This could have been cut out. That could have been cut out. But I don't think there was ever any point where I was like legitimately bored of the movie.
Wow. Okay. I am the complete opposite side. This movie should have been cut by 40 fucking minutes. They should have made this an hour and a half, hour 40 tops. They had one too many deep conversations between Man at Arms and Mr. He-Man himself. They had too many scenes that kind of like awkwardly continued that they could have cut 10, 15 seconds off of to make it a tighter edit. Especially that's why I'm so surprised that Lee Boy, who's like the main editor, who's been editing for decades right now, was like, "Oh, I love the pacing, so I was having too much fun." I did not have fun watching this movie. I'm sorry.
That's the thing. When you have fun with a film, if I
Yeah,
could, with me,
right.
I'm one of the people that I critique a lot. I'm very critical on certain things. If
Yeah.
I can watch something and it moves me away from being in that brain, then you got me. You won the battle with me because I'm no longer sitting there looking for something to be wrong. I'm just having fun with the film, and after a while, I didn't have that. The pacing didn't bother me. I was fine.
Oh yeah, for me, I was bored out of my mind. Like I first got bored and I got taken out of the movie the first time, and how he found the sword, which I absolutely hated that scene.
Yeah.
But that's me personally. I thought it was so stupid, so corny. Then the scene on the bridge, I was like, he got arrested, and he still has the sword on him. Okay, whatever.
I
And
I I,
then
I think for story they could have just went without doing the whole Earth storyline at all, and they could have just left it
yes,
where he's an Eternia hiding out or something like that for a long time, and I think that would have been a little bit more entertaining. So I agree with a lot. That's why I'm saying a lot of the early scenes could have just been cut, and I would have been fine with it
yeah. I didn't
because
need to know he had a roommate who was watching the love,
it's
the
this
Titanic, and the love
comedy shit,
whatever.
you know.
Yeah,
But
this
if
is
they would
actually
have
comedy.
cut out the Earth stuff, the whole theme of the film
No,
of manning up and this day and age being different than that day and
Yeah,
age would
yeah,
have been,
definitely. It would have been changed the tone of the movie.
yeah.
I'm not saying cut everything out from Earth, but a roommate who keeps saying, "Oh man, you got to stop telling your dates that you're from Eternia," and they're
I found
like,
that hilarious.
And
I
I thought it
found
was
that.
funny.
I found
I
that
found
hilarious.
I found that shit so annoying that it raised my blood pressure. I was like, this is such a waste of time. Why you're gonna turn people off to this movie?
It
The average Joe is
it
gonna be like,
was
"What the fuck
it,
is
it
this?"
was it was all just to pay off at the end. That's all it was. Just to have those little extra scenes with the fight at the end. That's all that was
You
for.
didn't find the fact that he was a little boy that got stripped from his home world, went
No,
to Earth,
it's
lost
hilarious.
his
It's
sword.
funny.
No, I'm
It's
talking to
funny.
Ray. He lost his sword, and now you thinking that he's on, and you find out he's telling his whole backstory while he's on a date, and she's looking at him like he's crazy. And then he goes back to his roommate. He said, "You told her the story again, didn't you?" Like, yeah, y'all gotta believe me. And he starts making up different names for these
Yeah.
people. You know what I'm saying?
I love that. I love that they gave a reason for all these corny ass
Right.
names for these. It was like
It
it
made
makes sense.
sense. It made sense. Again, if you're a fan of the TV show, you
That's
understand. It makes sense. But
that's
anyway,
great. It was fantastic. I still find that shit corny and boring as fuck. I hated almost all of it. I like the fact that he remembered where he came from. He was doing the drawings, but the date thing wasn't a bad scene. It was a funny scene. But the whole roommate thing could have been cut out completely. The whole thing at his job could have been cut out completely.
Yeah.
Like we didn't need that. He could have been on a date with the girl. He sent a story. All of a sudden, the thing hits on his phone. I have the sword for you. When he's walking around in a comic book shop, you got my
That-
sword.
yeah, that could have been shorter.
What?
I agree with that.
What? You're the man with my sword. He's asking a whole bunch of guys. Do you have my sword? What does that sound like? Like that's an adult joke, first of all. Which I didn't mind the adult joke, but I'm just like, okay, he did it once, twice. Oh, you're gonna do it a fourth time. Okay. And then the other guy's like, yeah, I'm the guy who called you about your sword. I got your sword. What are you doing? Blah blah blah. And then how he found his sword. I was like this, like it's in a statue. Something that fell from space that hit Earth is in a statue. Of course, it's gonna be in a comic book shop. Of course. Of course. It's not gonna be like in a museum or held by the government or held by the whatever, like Thor's hammer. If you want to go with Thor, a Thor comparison, it wasn't like surrounded by a bunch of people saying, "Hey, where the hell this thing came from?" No, it's in a comic book shop in the hands of a plastic He-Man like character. That shit was such bad writing that I was like, "Wow, how did they pass this freaking movie?" Because that was horrible. That scene alone I almost went like, "Hey, can I have my money back, please?" I almost did that, but
so
I
you
kept
wanted
watching
him to
the
go
movie.
through the 59 and area whatever the fuck to
I
find his
know it
sword,
was
bro.
written. I know it was written to move it along, to move the story along. I know
Yeah.
that's why it was the lazy way of writing. I get it. They could have figured something else out. They had $200 million.
Yeah, I just think they stayed too long on the Earth scenes. That
Yes,
they dragged
yes,
those out too long.
yes, and
They
that's
could have
like
did
30
all of that,
minutes.
left it the way it is, and just made it faster pace.
Yeah, and that'll probably be like 25 to 30 minutes of what I would cut out the movie. Just get to the point, make it do something brand new on how he finds the sword. Something brand new. It's somehow calling out to him. It's
It could
the
also be a callback
sorceress.
to the '80s movie. You know what I mean? Where
True, very true,
the key
very
goes to
true.
the to Earth and all of that. So
Yeah, they didn't even use the freaking sword, the
yeah.
original sword in the '80s movie. They had a different sword. They didn't have the He-Man sword in the '80s movie, which was very disappointing.
Mhm.
But by the way, the sword looked incredible from the cartoon. That sword was banging. That shit was
Mhm.
fire. but how they used it was a little anyway in that aspect of it. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, that should dragged on. I'm sorry. I would. I'm sorry. That should drag. That should have been about 40 minutes shorter. Anyway, okay. Now that we're done with that part, I'm sorry for my little rant there. We're already going past the time that I wanted to go past. But hey, screw it. All right. So, what feelings and thoughts is left with you with the movie? What do you and who do you think should see the movie? Who is this movie designed for? How to make you feel overall? I'm gonna go with Lee Boy first on this one because I got more nostalgia from him than from Rav. Mr. Lee Boy, how does this movie make you feel? And
That's
who's the movie for?
exactly the word to use, nostalgia. If you are a He-Man fan, I was a fan since the kid. I'm running around my house, terrorizing my sister and my mom, yelling at the top of my lungs, power of Grayskull, brother. If you if you are a He-Man fan, this film does what it's supposed to do. It's nostalgic as hell. It hits on all points. To me, I had so much fun with this film because again, and I also went in with low expectations too. I wasn't trying to hype myself up to be like, this is gonna be the bee's knees. And I said, nope, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go in with low expectations because the last taste in my mouth from a He-Man film, pause, is from the Dolph Lundgren film, which I tried to like it, but it was not He-Man to me. It was trash. I hated that film because I loved the cartoon so much. When I watched that film, I was so disappointed. You just said it. The sword with the dip. Let me calm down. I wanted He-Man the way it was supposed to be. And this right here, when I saw Skeletor in the trailer, and when I saw the preview for, I said, even if this is bad, I still want to see it because it piqued my interest.
Mm-hmm.
When I got and I watched the film, it did that. So who is this film designed for? He-Man fans, people that love the franchise, that know things about the franchise. And I'm gonna drop a gem while I'm here talking to you guys, and now I'll pass it on to Mr. Rav. Skeletor is He-Man's uncle. A lot of people don't even know that, but he's He-Man's uncle. Just gonna put that out there. Just next, but yeah,
I know that.
a lot of people don't know that because the young people are not gonna go see it. Hopefully, they'll watch our video and understand something.
Yeah. So I agree with you. He-Man is definitely nostalgia. The Masters of the Universe movie is definitely nostalgia. I got pictures of me with the He-Man sword and my diaper and stuff like that from back in the day. My mom's got them packed away, but like,
we're gonna have to get those photos, my friend.
I'll see if I get the photo before I leave.
We're gonna have to put it right here.
that He-Man was my love before Thundercats, before Ninja Turtles. So that was my first little boy childhood cartoon that I had to watch no matter what time it was, no matter what day it was. I had to be on. And the He-Man She-Ra dual cartoons. I was like, oh man, this this movie was made for that for sure. I do think that if it would have promoted a little bit different, I think it could have been more directed toward younger audiences. But at the same time, that would have made us not like it as much. Maybe we wouldn't have wanted to go to the movies and go see this. But I think that they're missing out on not promoting it for kids the way they could be. Like they definitely have all the little licensing agreements with the restaurants and all these other things, and they're definitely pushing this movie all over the damn place. You see the posters, you see the commercials all over TV. So they are doing the right thing, but I don't know if it's hitting the kids the way it could for little kids. I'm not even talking 10 years old and up, younger than 10. I could see liking this, but it's also the kids are in such a modern day thing now that they're not into this fantasy style that way that we were back in the day. You know what I mean? And that's there's kind of a miscommunication from with younger kids nowadays that they don't see that as entertaining. So it's kind of the same thing, kind of Star Wars kind of does not interest them as much as it did when we were kids. So it's I don't really know how you go about marketing this type of movie toward little younger kids. It's definitely for them because I think they would crack up at all the jokes and the colors and the characters and all of that stuff. I think it has a little bit of everything for that group of people, but I don't think that they're selling it to them correctly.
Should have dropped this in the summertime. They should have waited another month or so.
Yeah.
Well, going up against Supergirl and then
No, not necessarily going against Supergirl. Just drop it in like the summertime, like toward the midsummer. That way they ain't in competition with anybody. Kids are out of school.
But they're not in competition with anybody. Like who's like in the age group that this movie is directed toward? What are they competing against?
Well, Scary Movie, which ain't doing so well, but I'm just saying.
Well, right now the main three movies are all the same genre
Horror.
that are blowing up everywhere. Is a horror. You have Obsession, which I seen, and I'm gonna create a video for that. Then you have Backrooms, which I haven't seen, but it's based off a video game that blew up. And then there's another one. I know it's another horror movie. It also made about $200 million.
Hokum.
Hokum.
Yeah, that came out right before. Right, but that was the first one that came out of the three.
Yeah, so I didn't even know about that one, but all of them are 200 million plus, and they're all made for less than $5 million. All three of them. Shoot, Obsession was made for 750,000, and it's at 224 million.
Crazy.
And the director of that movie already has his next movie. Anyway, back to Master of the Universe. That the reason why you guys enjoyed the movie again was with the Superman thing is the reason why I don't like the movie. The nostalgia. I don't like the fact that they made Skeletor funny. Period. Flat out.
Bro, not everything could be Man of Steel. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to always be
He doesn't like Superman, but he's wearing the crypto shirt.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Rap sent him the crypto shirt.
Hey, my brother from another mother sent me this shirt. I'm gonna rock it from time to time, even though I fucking hate this dog.
But damn right, you're damn right. I had to get it for you, bro. Favorite
but I don't hate the dog. I just hate the way they constantly use the dog in the movie, as in to like just grab you. Anyway, what Superman review that we made? It's in the channel. It's actually one of our best videos, I think, personally. At least top 10. Anyway, so the whole nostalgia factor about it, the fact that Skeletor was funny. I wanted him to be more villainous than what he was, but he had the perfect look. From the 80s movie, the actor, I cannot remember his name, but the actor who played Skeletor in the 80s movie deserved like an Academy Award because his performance, just his performance, whether it's Skeletor or not Skeletor, whoever the hell he's playing, as a villain, was absolutely amazing. If you watch the movie, you're gonna watch it for Skeletor, just like you're gonna watch this movie for Skeletor, because Skeletor is the best thing out of this movie, in my opinion, and the sword. And that's the best thing out of the 80s movie. The 80s movie, I don't know what the hell they were thinking with the story and the we have to find the buttons.
I love
but
that
I
movie.
loved it.
It's got I put that movie, to me personally, I put that movie on the same level as like the Ninja Turtles movie, the original Ninja Turtles movie, just because it has that same, like, it has just that same feel. Is that, yeah, not the quality of like the acting and things like that, but it just has that same feel. It has that like
listen, my friend. Yes, before you dig your hole deeper right now. Yes, the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Mm-hmm. Okay, where you're talking about the one where Rav fights on the rooftop against the foot. Leo and Rav, and Leo is by Rav in the bathtub and in the house. And April O'Neil and Casey Jones.
That movie, the whole building catches fire and all. Yeah,
that movie is a damn near masterpiece in cinema.
I'm saying it gives me that same feeling. I'm not saying it's the same quality movie. I'm just saying it gives me the same feeling because I appreciate both movies. Like,
yeah, clear that shit up, boy.
No. I know the quality is way different. The budget's way off. The script is way off. I know the difference, but I get the same feeling watching both those movies.
Okay,
like just that love, just that like I
you got to make that plain, brother. I was quiet. I let Ray talk. I was like, yeah, Ray, get him.
Because we were about to, the next matinee was about to be Ninja Turtles, bro. So the thing is that, all right, so we're gonna go back to what I was saying.
Sorry.
Is the fact that the overall movie I did not like because of all the nostalgia. The gentleman playing He-Man, I thought he did a good performance overall, but I didn't like what they kind of did with his character. He was a little too soft. I get it, that was a theme, but then when he became He-Man, he was now a little overpowered or whatever. But that's the point of it. He's the most powerful man in the universe. Is that what it is? And the other characters just, I don't know. I couldn't get into it. I couldn't get into the movie like the way you guys did, because I'm watching this and I'm like, why did they keep this? Why did they do this? Why did they do that? Why? I mean, I get it. The nostalgia that they're doing this. They're trying to recapture what once was.
Mhm.
You're not gonna ever get that, even though this was very close. This was very close, but I didn't like that, because guess what? In my opinion, we all grew up. We all grew up. We all got to a certain point in life. Yes, we appreciate certain things, but I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan as the way Lee Boy was. I know if I look a little blurry or some shit there, it's a little off. Um, but yeah, this movie for me failed in for me. I not that I would never watch it again. I'll give it another shot maybe down the line. Um, but yes, it's the truth to the nostalgia of the cartoon. So if you like the nostalgia, then go watch it. I'm not saying don't go watch it. I'm just saying, for me personally, it did not capture me. It did not get me. I like things about it. But there were more things I disliked about it. And the comedy across everyone, except for maybe one or two jokes, just did not hit for me, and it kept taking me out of the movie, And then certain decisions that they made in the writing took me out of the movie. And then the sorceress, she looked amazing. She had her part in the of her adding to He-Man's progression, but then
Gone.
what
Gone.
else?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
hello, sorceress, can you help me for a second here? I'm fighting like 40 people here. Can you
She had
assist
like
me,
one
please?
day of filming and that was it.
Yeah. Lockjaw, I did not like the way he looked. That's just me personally. I don't like the way he looked. He just looked like a guy with green paint on his body and a fancy arm. That was it. Um, what is it? A Ram Man? Ram Man?
Juggernaut. He's the juggernaut, bitch.
All right.
That ass was the juggernaut suit, son.
He was the
Yo.
juggernaut. Yeah, he was a mini juggernaut. And guess
Yes,
what?
sir.
I like Ram Man was dope. I
Yeah.
admit Ram
They
Man was dope.
bought that from 20th Century Fox. They got that at
For
an
real, for real.
auction.
And what's the Fisto? What's his name?
Oh man. That was a funny joke too, bro.
That was hilarious. That was the one joke that I was like, oh, okay, that was good. That was funny. And, and the other side characters, they did some of them justice. Other ones, like Eveline. Oh my god, it's so
Oh,
bad. Um.
and I
All
love
right.
her as an actress. It sucks, bro.
So overall, I'm gonna do a rating system, just like whatever number out of 10, just to give you my full my opinion of it. Not that you guys are gonna give the same opinion, but I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. That's me. That's me personally.
It's not the
Mr.
worst.
Rav,
Could be
Mr.
bad.
Rav. It could be worse.
I would say just off of just because of the beginning, I'm gonna say 7.5.
Wow, you really didn't like the beginning. I thought the beginning was good, actually. Like, I enjoyed the beginning. It set it up. Anyway, yeah.
Everything
7.5.
else after that was good. I'm good with that. Go ahead. Anyway, moving on.
Mr. Lee Boy, what is your rating?
I give it the same score Mr. Rav gave it, 7.5.
7.5, really?
7.5.
I thought I was expecting like a 8.5 from you or something.
Yeah,
Like
me
maybe
too.
even a 9.
No. I gave it its praise, but I told you that. But like this, the gripes that I have with the film aren't that doesn't outweigh my love for He-Man. Like I'm watching it when I watch the film, I'm like 5. You know what I'm saying? I'm back being a kid again. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But there are certain things in the film, like I already pointed out, that I did not like that knocked those points down, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So they were significant to me so much to drop it to 7.5. Like I said, it's not the best of movies, but it's good enough. It's like this. This is a fun film.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun film. Does it have its flaws? Yes, it does. But it's a fun film. And if you're able to take me out of my whatchamacallit, then I can sit there and give it a certain type of rating. So 7.5, I feel like is the comfortable spot without being delusional. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
All right. Okay.
It's like
I
one
respect
more
that.
thing. One more thing I want to add. It's like
Yeah.
watching. You ever seen Batman? The Adam West Batman.
Yes.
Now you wouldn't compare Adam West to damn Christian
Bale.
Bale. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna do that. You're like, hell no. But I respect Adam West. I can watch the Adam West Batman right now. Oh, good gosh, Robin, what are we gonna do today? Well, I don't know, Batman. We're gonna
And enjoy it.
and I will have fun with that, bro. Straight up. So that's
So let me ask you a question since you brought that up. If they make another Batman, like in respects to Adam West, and they want to start a whole new trilogy, and it is as campy as the old series, you gonna support it?
If they make a new Batman, I'm assuming in the same vein as
With
they
the,
already
with
did
the,
that, Brave and Bold. They did it in the cartoon form.
no, but I'm saying movies, like live action movie. They pick a gentleman,
Like a
with
high
Ryan
budget.
Reynolds.
All right, so
Is the new Batman.
here's my answer to that, and I want to expound on it. Here's what I'm going to give you my answer, then I'm going to expound. No, because we already had these great Batman renditions of films. We want to keep going in the projection of making bigger and better Batman films. This He-Man film, comparing it now to the He-Man, we didn't get that with the Dolph Lundgren film. It was trash. This film has the potential. Maybe the next one you might get what you're looking for, or maybe the next one might be a little bit more serious. We're not going to go backwards. We're trying to move forward. That's the point I'm trying to make. So no, I would not accept a new Adam West Batman type thing and say we're going to respect that. Nah, because we need bigger and better.
Yeah,
Okay,
I can see that. The only thing I could compare as far as campiness from that old Batman would be the Gotham TV show. I mean, it had that same campiness, not the same campiness, but it had similar traits, similar goofiness. That it's like, all right, you can't take that shit seriously, but they took it as serious as they possibly could while still being goofy and still somewhat enjoyable. It's not like the best TV show ever, obviously, but neither was that Batman show from back in the day. So it's like.
yeah. After the first 3 episodes of Gotham, I stopped watching it completely.
Go watch when the Joker shows up.
No, that's what somebody told me that go watch one of the Joker episodes, and then I saw the redheaded kid from
Shameless,
and I was like, okay, that's great. And then whenever he wasn't on screen, I'm like, this is shit. That he came back on screen as Joker, I'm like, okay, now it's better. Anyway, okay. So apparently, out of all 3 of us, only one of us is saying that this movie does not have the power, and that's me. This movie does not have the power, but go see it anyway. I say wait to streaming. They say it has the power. It's a 7.5. So you recommend them seeing it in theaters or wait to streaming?
Both.
I say wait to streaming.
Yeah, both. I say both. I say if you're a He-Man fan, of course, think about it. If you're a fan of anything, you're gonna go see it. You love Superman. You went to go, whether it was trash or not, you ran to go see the film. I'm saying if you're a He-Man fan, you're gonna watch it in the theater, and and if you like it, enjoy it, you're gonna watch it on streaming service. But I think because it's not a well-known brand at the moment, it may pop off on streaming services better than it would in a theater because now you're watching it on Netflix or you're watching it over here. Like it's going to pick up from there.
Yeah, take your kids to see it. Take your kids to see it. This is an Amazon movie, so I think it was originally supposed to be on Amazon Prime as a release, and I think it probably did move to movies at some point, and they probably upped the budget and all that stuff. But I definitely think that people should take their kids to see it and let this go on for the next generation or so. You know what I mean? I think that's definitely what's needed for this movie.
It should have been a damn series, if you ask me.
Yes.
On Amazon Prime. It should have been an Amazon Prime series.
That was gonna be my one of my final takes off of this, is that this movie has so much crammed into it, so many characters, so much lore. It should have been like an 8 to 10 part series, like the way they did Fallout, like the way they did. Well, let's see if God of War.
Yeah, I was gonna say we got God of War coming. That's probably why they couldn't do it.
Yeah, let's see God of War's. But just to let you guys know, Voltron is coming out either later this year or next year, but that's gonna be directed to Amazon Prime.
And that's Cavill, isn't it?
Live action with Henry Cavill. Yeah.
Can they fit his big diesel ass in one of them mechs? Like,
Yeah,
you gonna fit?
Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah,
it's gonna be heavy as shit. What is he, the head?
I don't know. I guess is the head the black lion? What's the head? The red lion? I don't know. Anyway, Masters of the Universe. Have you seen it? Will you see it? Please let us know in the comments your thoughts. Please let us know what you think of our opinion of it. And yes, hit that like, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you like what you saw in this episode. We have plenty of more. Well, we have like 100 videos or something up by now, and we
144.
have 144. There you go. Pick one. Watch all of them. We really appreciate it. Please follow, like, subscribe, share. Thank you so much. I am Mr. Ray Ray. That is Leboy XP. That is Rav. And we are out. Have a lovely day or evening or whatever time you're watching this. And that's perfectly fine. And yeah, go watch a movie or something. Play a video game. Peace.